Hi, welcome to Physionic, the dedicated Physionic podcast. My name is Nicholas Verhoeven. Today we're going to be talking about autoimmunity and a potential breakthrough when it comes to sex-specific autoimmune disorders. So for the longest time, we haven't really known, we as in the scientific community in general, the medical community, haven't really fully understood why autoimmunity seems to impact women more than it impacts men. And it's pretty drastic. So it's roughly 4 to 5 times more effective in women, or it affects 4 to 5 times more women than it does men. And the reason for that has been pretty much a mystery. We've understood that, of course, you have transcription and translation of pro-inflammatory genes in women more than you do in men, but beyond that, what was the cause of that was completely unknown. But this paper, which I will have linked for you to check out yourself, shows that there's not only an upregulation of genes, but an upregulation of genes in skin specifically. And so you have higher levels of these expressions in women's skin as opposed to men. And there's this particular molecule or transcription factor, essentially a molecule that will bind and regulate different genes, known as VGLL3, so vestigial-like family member 3. Quite a mouthful. And VGLL3 has now been discovered to certainly regulate a lot of these key pro-inflammatory transcriptomics. That is terrible English. To affect gene regulation. We'll put it that way. I got lost between two different thoughts in that moment. And it's not specific to females, but it is highly expressed. There's a lot of this molecule in women, and it's not just in women who suffer from autoimmune disorders, but also in healthy women. Healthy women tend to have higher levels of this VGLL3 molecule. So there is a very specific sex-dependent or sex-specific difference between men and women when it comes to this molecule. And what it causes is this transcription and this gene expression of pro-inflammatory cytokines, so proteins that essentially tell the rest of the body, hey, we've got a problem here, recruit immune cells, move them to this location and deal with the problem. But of course, that would make sense if the cell is in some sort of situation in which it needs to be destroyed, or if you have some sort of infection, then that would make sense. But in autoimmunity, you don't necessarily have that situation. You have this strong reaction to essentially self. So the immune cells will not necessarily recognize particular parts of the body and will have strong immune responses against those parts of the body, even though they're perfectly normal and they should be there. So you have this autoimmune response. That's where the name comes from. So with this overexpression of VGLL3 in women, especially in those that have this autoimmune disease or a variety of different autoimmune diseases, you see changes in the skin. So you see a lupus-like rash. And so it begins, what they think, at least based off of this paper, is they think that it begins in the skin and then it spreads from there. So it then spreads to a systemic autoimmune reaction. So not only are you getting this recruitment of immune cells to the skin, but you're also then getting this continued reaction, and it's going to attack a lot of different organ systems. So not just your skin organ, but going to affect all kinds of other organ systems. So you get this B cell proliferation, this expansion of these particular immune cells, and then you have this what's called an autoantibody formation, where you have antibodies that are being released that are going to be specific to, well, typically it would be a pathology, some sort of bacteria, if that's a viral infected cell, something of that nature, so that those immune cells can then hone in on that pathogen and destroy it. But in this situation, it's called an autoantibody, meaning that it's creating antibodies against itself. So the body is secreting antibodies that are going to target other parts of the body when, again, it shouldn't necessarily be doing that. So you have this skin-targeted overexpression of this VGLL3, which then leads to an overexpression, or a greater expression, I should say, of these different genes, which then lead to more inflammation, and that inflammation, or more pro-inflammatory cytokines, I should say, and then you have this inflammation, because inflammation is the infiltration of these different immune cells, specifically B cells in this situation, that then infiltrate into the skin, and that's why you might see changes in skin coloration, things of that nature, puffiness, and then from there it then targets the rest of the body, so the entire physiology. So really interesting. Just a note that there is a difference between men and women when it comes to that, or it's at least an explanation. It's most likely not the only explanation, but it is a potent explanation as to the differences between men and women when it comes to autoimmunity. Okay, well, that's what I wanted to share with you. And of course, again, I have the paper linked, so if you are interested in reading it yourself in far more depth, then you can check it out for yourself. With that said, I hope I have the pleasure of speaking with you guys in the next one. Have a good one. See ya.